Hey everyone, I'm back and I thought I should create a video today around answering your guys' questions that you guys have had for me over the last couple of months. I know that I am currently not in a seat or driving at the moment, so I thought it's a good time to still bring out good content for you guys, but really sit down and just chat to you guys and create some videos. So I'm going to answer 15 of your guys' most important questions that I think would be very good to answer. So let's go. Okay, so first question is, what sacrifices have you had to make to chase racing? So, I mean, this is a big one for me. Like I said, I'm still only 19 and I moved over to Australia when I was 18. Nearly 10 months ago, I left my whole family, all my friends, my car. I had my dirt bikes, I had everything back home. I left all my, literally left everything to come over here, start a, new lifestyle over here, and to chase my dreams. I came over here for one thing, was to have more opportunity and be in a race car. So I think for me, making that decision was really, really hard. I mean, I had to think about it for a couple of months because I knew it was super, super big coming over to a different country by myself. I know it's only Australia, but for me, leaving home, I do get homesick a lot. So I think that is one big thing that I did make to chase my dreams in motorsport. And I think Australia for me has so much more opportunity. There's been a lot of times where I'm like, I want to go home, but I think having such a strong mindset that I do have, I think, this is what has kept me over here, is Australia has so much more opportunity for me. Okay, second question, do you have sponsors and how did you get them? So I've had a couple of sponsors since I was younger, when I first started out, and I think for me, I've built a really, really strong relationship with most of my sponsors. I talk to them not just about sponsorship, it could be anything with racing, it could be just day-to-day things as well. So I think creating a really strong bond with your sponsors go such a long way. So yeah, so how I got my sponsors was networking. I network a lot. Social media really helped me, and I think obviously results as well do help 110%. So I think you just need to, create your personal brand, have such a strong personal brand, and do what you do and do what you're best at, and things will come. I have reached out to sponsors as well. I think anyone that's watching this, you can reach out to other businesses, other brands. Like, I feel, don't be so tucked into a little bubble thinking that sponsors have to come to you. I think 50% of it is reaching out, getting yourself out there, getting your name out there, getting your personal brand out there, because I think at the end of the day, you're networking as well, right? You're talking to people. So that's a really good way as well. Okay, third question, how do you balance working, training, and racing? Okay. So a lot of people probably at my age don't do this, but I think this is super important for me personally. I have held this thing. I have taken this every single where I go, every single day. And I've probably been using it for the last 3 years. And it's as simple as a diary. Like, so simple. You go to, an Office Works or a stationery shop, you go and buy it for $15. And honestly, this is a lifesaver for me every single year. I get one every single year, and I write in everything I do every day, what I need to be doing the next day. And so with me having business stuff, me having my gym training, me having my racing, me having my website, things I need to be running on a day-to-day basis, all comes back into this. So I've talked to a lot of people and they're like, well, I don't use that, I just keep it in my head. And I'm like, okay, cool, but what if something important comes up that next minute you've forgotten about the other thing that you've been thinking of? So I have nothing in my head. I have everything in my diary. And so I think people watching this, it's a really, really good way to just jot things down. It could be, make sure you follow up with this person, or have a look at this or this. And because I'm on so many platforms as well, doing all my social media things, definitely is very hard to manage everything without having a structure. Question number 4, how do you make money from content and social media? So majority of my platforms are monetized. Once they're monetized, then the people behind Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, they actually pay you to post stories, engagement, etc., etc. So if I break it down, I don't want to give too much of my secrets away, but if I break it down, I guess the more engagement you get, the more money you get. So I think the harder I work, the more money I get. That's how I look at it. And so over the years, I've just been working every single week. I've been doing content calendars. I've been having diaries after diaries, writing things for content and all my platforms. I mean, I'm running about 5 platforms right now, and it's super, super busy when you need to be active on all of them. I love it. It's my job. I love what I do. So that's a little bit of a way I make money off my social media. Question 5, how do you mentally handle pressure before a race? So I've been with a mindset coach for about 5 years now. I get trained by him every week, and I think my mindset is super, super strong. And so pressure to me is pressure. Yeah, I do get pressure before I go out onto the track, 110%, but I think I don't get super wound up about it. I am pretty cool, calm, and collective. I don't really see myself jumping off the rails from all the pressure that most people do get before racing. 110%, I get pressure all the time before racing, different events, different races, different race car as well. But I think it's the way you handle it kind of helps me. I mean, I handle it in a way where music helps me. I think sitting in like a quiet space, pop your headphones on, you listen to a podcast or you listen to some music that you like. I think that really helps me. Question 6, how do you stay confident after a bad result? I wouldn't say confident. I would say, how do you deal with it, I guess. For me, I look at a bad result as, okay, it's a bad result, let's move on to the next weekend. I think staying on a bad result just doesn't put you in the right head frame for the next meeting or the event or whatever you've got going on. So I think obviously reviewing, reflecting on what you did wrong or what has happened, and I think learning from that and taking it into the next event in a positive attitude is definitely the way I take things. If I don't perform well in my last event, I review, reflect on GoPros or any cameras I have on board, or any, coaches or mentors that are watching me. And I obviously reflect on that and then take the positives and move into the next event. Okay, question 7. What advice would you give someone trying to get their first opportunity? Network. 110% network. Turn up to the events that you are wanting to race. Go down to the pits. See what everyone is doing. Talk to people. Show your face. Get out there. Because it's not going to work while sitting at home watching it behind a TV screen. That's how I look at it. Personally, I hate going to races if I'm not racing. That's just me. Because I know that I could be out on this track learning. I'm still learning when I'm not racing, but I think not being able to be in that seat is definitely challenging. But I think when I'm at the races, I definitely try and network, talk to people, especially being in a new country. I'm from New Zealand, and so I'm still working out, the Aussie side of Speedway, and who to talk to and things like that. So I think networking is super, super important. Social media is really good as well, getting yourself out there on there, because everyone has phones nowadays, and most likely your video is probably going to pop up in the audience of kind of Speedway if it revolves around Speedway. And so, yeah, I think networking is very important. All right, question 8. What motivates you on days you don't feel motivated? My dream, my goal, my vision boards. I'm such a strong believer in where I want to go with my racing career, and I think if that doesn't motivate me, then why is it my dream? You know, I think you've got to have a dream that when you say it to yourself and when you listen to yourself saying that, I think you need to be motivated from that. You need to get up and you need to get to work. And I think having such a big dream that feels like is not achievable is what you want. Because I think feeling that dream when you've accomplished it is going to feel like you've literally just won the lotto, honestly. So I think having such a big dream, such a big goal, like I have, I think that really motivates me every single day. Question 9, how do you deal with criticism and hate online? I do not care. I've been doing this for 4 years. I do not care. It does not disturb me anymore. I would say 2 years ago, 110%. I was so new to all this online stuff. Like I say on my stories, pretty much every week, you're gonna get hate online. People don't like to see other people succeeding. That's what I can say. And so I think be yourself. Stick to who you are, do what you want to do online, and believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be stepping up on that podium and you're going to be like, I did this hard work online for me, for my personal brand. So it's going to pay off at the end of the day. If you have such a strong mindset towards it, it's going to pay off at the end of the day. And for me, I have probably a really strong mindset for my age. You know, I think it's hard to be online 24/7, putting your face out there, and all you get is hate back. Like, it is what it is. And so I think if you can handle that earlier on in the days that you are on social media and you are videoing yourself or whatever you're doing, you're going to be such a strong person when you jump back online. So, I mean, personally, I just delete them, block them, get them out of my community and my area because that's just negative energy around my platforms. And I try my best to delete them all, but sometimes there's quite a lot. And so I just let it all go. But you just got to keep moving forward. Question number 10. How do you stay disciplined when results aren't immediate? You're not going to be a world champ straight away. That's how I look at it. So I think the people that are on the top step currently, they have started working when they were super, super young. I think when results aren't coming immediate, that's kind of good because it's like you're working for that, you know? So when it does really happen, you're like, yeah, I really worked for this. And you can reflect back on all the work you've put into it to get to that top step. So I think it's actually good. I personally want to work for my results. I don't want them just to be kind of given. So I think, you know, stepping up into a harder league, obviously over here in Australia, completely different. I think, you know, obviously Australia is so much bigger. The competition is quite up there, especially with the sprint car side of things. So I think it's just head down, bum up, keep working, and just be 1% better every day. All right, question number 11. What's the most frustrating part of chasing racing right now? Personally, for me, I think I'm going to look back on this video in the next couple of years. But I think right now, Monday, the 26th of January, I think not being in a seat. You know, I came over to Australia to race, and now I'm not in a seat. I think, obviously, it's hit me a bit, but I think my mindset is stronger than that, and I'm not going to let that push me, you know, side to side. So I think it's difficult not being in a seat, not racing, and obviously seeing your other competitors out there and turning laps. But I think I look at it as a learning curve for me, 110%, and that I think there are bigger and better things waiting for me. So I believe in myself. I just keep working every single day, doing what I'm doing, and the right opportunity will pop up for me soon. Question number 12. What's the hardest truth you've had to accept about racing? 1 minute you're on the podium, the next minute you're not. I've learned in Speedway that you turn up to, your meeting and you podium that, I don't know, that weekend, right? And then you go to a different track the next weekend and you're like top 10, top 15. I think that being consistent is 110% doable, but I think that you got to accept that sometimes you're gonna have not the best days at racing. Sometimes you might not have the best qualifying that sets your whole night up not the best. I think other times you have an amazing qualifying. Your car's running really well on a certain track that you're at. It's maybe your favorite track that you're at. So I think accepting that hasn't been the hardest truth, but I think it's been obviously an eye-opener. I think, coming from obviously motocross, it's all down to you. I think it's a lot of the rider on the dirt bike as well. Obviously the bike 110%, but I think as a rider, you got to be on your A game every single race meeting. Kind of determines on your position for the end of the race kind of thing. So, kind of jumping from that side to speedway has been something I've had to accept and learn and adjust to as well. Question number 13. I actually do get a lot of people ask this in kind of all different ways, but do you ever worry content takes away from racing focus? For me, no. I think racing obviously is my priority, right? And I think a lot of people probably don't see that I switch off. Obviously, I'm still online and stuff, but my headspace on race nights and probably a week to 2 weeks out from the event is very different. I think a lot of people don't see that online because I'm just who I am online. But I think once I'm offline, that's when I actually am focusing. And race nights, I am 110% focused. My social media just comes with it. And I think because I've been doing social media for so long, it comes very naturally to me. I think picking up the camera and just talking, I don't even think about it. I just explain my night, put it down, focus on the racing kind of thing. And so, yeah, I think doesn't really take away my focus. Question number 14. What advice would you give drivers about building a personal brand? Be yourself, honestly. I think having such a strong personal brand is being yourself. I see a lot of people, kind of being themselves, but not at the same time. And I think if you can be unique and yourself online, I think that really attracts the right audience that you are wanting online. Personal brand as well, I think being out there, showing your face, showing your name, and who you're about. But yeah, I think just being real and being yourself. Question number 15 and the last one to wrap up today is, what is my short-term and long-term goal in my motorsport? So short-term is definitely getting some more seasons under my belt in Australia, and definitely a sprint car. I think sprint car is where I want to go with my racing. And so, yeah, I think short-term is getting a seat. Getting an established seat, a really good crew and team behind me. And then my long-term goal would definitely be over in the States racing a sprint car. I've had that goal for as long as I've literally pretty much been alive. But yeah, I think definitely being over in America running a sprint car for a team, 100%. But I hope those 15 questions have given you more of an overview on me and my thoughts and obviously answers to your guys' questions. Drop in the comments if you want me to do another Q&A. And if you do, drop some questions in the comment section and we'll drop a video on this again. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment. Turn on the notifications bell. And thank you all for your support.